Hey guys. We're here to talk about my photosynthesis project. What I did is I did a calculator in Google Sheets, as you can clearly tell. And you put in how much of CO2 and the H2O that you have for the photosynthesis, and then it adds the sunlight energy, and then it calculates how much glucose and O2 can be made out of it. And then down here it basically does the opposite. And I didn't copy the one up there, as you can see here. So I'm not a cheater. So in the pink, I took apart what I have, the different carbon and the oxygen and the hydrogen atoms. And then for the glucose, I had to do this big table. So as you can see, the table only goes up to 5 glucose. That's a shame. Yeah. And then it does the same thing. It takes it apart down here. And then for the ratios, it makes sure the carbon and then the O2 after the water for the CO2 ratio is the same. These should always be the same, and then that's true. And then same with the water ratio. And then it charges the ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate, into adenosine triphosphate, ATP. And that is what animals use for energy. So it's a cycle because of this output of photosynthesis is the input for cellular respiration. And then what cellular respiration yields, alright guys, is the input of photosynthesis. So, before we lunge into it, guys, I want to tell you that I'm using a free screen recorder. Ice cream screenshots down here. And it limits it to 5 minutes. And we're already at 3 minutes, so we better hurry up, guys. Okay, so we can try 6 and 6, which is pretty basic. And we get 1 and 6, 1 glucose, 6 O2s. And then we come back with 6 and 6 and ATP ready to go, guys. And then we can try whatever, like 24 and 24. We should get 4 and 24, and then 24 and 24 back. Alright, guys. So you're like, that's so nerdy, because they're multiples of 6, which is so. And I'm like, heck yeah, guys. So, just to prove that I'm cool and not a nerd, we can put in 19 and 21, for example. But then you're like, you're still a nerd, because there's 20 and a half O2s, which is no bad. But you can see the table doing its job. And we still come back with 19 and 21. You can see the ratios are still working. Sorry guys, we cut out there for a minute. So we have the CO2 and the water ratio is good. ATP is done. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the rubric, guys. You should care about photosynthesis because it's kind of like necessary for life because we need those sugars and the oxygen. Animals need that. Well, not just animals. Like, plants also use cellular respiration when they're not doing the photosynthesis part. Animals do it. Fungi, protists, and most bacteria do cellular respiration. And plants and some algae do photosynthesis, and some bacteria probably. Let's see what else. Photosynthesis happens in the chloroplasts, in the chlorophyll, which is the thing in the chloroplast, which is an organelle, guys, of the cell. And the cellular respiration happens in the mitochondria, which is another organelle in animal style cells with the floppy wall. Plants have that stiff wall around the cell. So that's going to wrap up my video, guys. Yeah. Okay. Okay.